Hello and welcome back, my fairies. I'm Matsuyorific, and we are back with more Miraculous Season 6. This is Episode 3, Sublimation. And, so we have a bit of a change to the schedule, unfortunately. Apparently Disney has decided that the day that they were going to release Episode 1, they're not going to release it anymore. Now they're releasing Episode 22! Yikes! If there are any changes mid-season, we're gonna be spoiled on it. They kind of seemed like they were teasing Adrianette possibly breaking up. We also have that line from Bunnix way back when going, oh, with you two it's more like, ooh. Like, So there is a possibility that they could end up breaking up at some point. There's a possibility that Marinette could end up losing her identity. This doesn't really have anything to do with episode 3, so we should probably get back on track. Okay, so this is the part where I usually talk about what we know about the episode. This should be the episode with the runner. So this is where we finally get context of Marinette watching Adrian and the girl through the binoculars. And I really hope this isn't what everyone thinks it is, myself included, because it looks like she's relapsing into her I have to control everything, including stuff related to Adrian. Girl, you know he cares about you, you know he loves you. You should know him well enough by now that he would never cheat. So please, Marinette, do not let this be what everyone thinks it is. But this is the episode with the disabled athletes, so that's going to be fun. This should also be the episode with Bob Roth, so not looking forward to seeing him again. Yeah, spoilers, he is going to be a bit of an antagonist in What If Adrian Had a Twin Sister, but I won't say anything more, because that's spoilers for episodes, or for the next part, if I ever get around to getting that out. Speaking of, we do have some more artwork over on the side here of Adriana wearing a dress inspired by Cat Noir, Kitty Noir, whatever you want to call him. Yeah, we have that dress over here. I love this dress. Guys, the ruffles are, if I do say so myself, I'm in love with this dress. And I still need to make the line art so I can release that. I'm sorry, guys. January has been crazy. But, if you are a channel member watching this the day of release, then definitely be sure to check out Stream later today, because we'll be working on the Ask Kitty Noir comic. And I'll also be working on the line art, which should hopefully be up soon for channel members, for the drawing page. And for if you are not a channel member and watching this the day that it goes public, then still consider checking out Stream later today. We'll be playing Persona 4 Arena, and we're going to be finishing up the arena part of the story before moving on to Ultimax. It's going to be a lot of fun. That's about all of the updates, so I'm gonna go ahead and go watch the episode, and I will be right back. Yay! I am back, and we were wrong! We were wrong! I'm so glad to be wrong! Marinette wasn't spying on Adrian because she thought that he and the new girl Sublime were into each other. She just wanted to be friends with his friend. And you know what? I will buy Marinette being all clumsy and stuff around this new girl, because yeah, she does give kind of Adrian vibes with how accomplished she is. So her name is actually Sublime, and she is a disabled athlete, like we've already discussed. She is very similar to Adrian, and I guess more so Felix. Oh my, her mom is basically Gabriella. Who keeps giving Astra permission permission to steal my ideas. I swear this woman is just Gabriella Aggress. Just, oh my goodness. Like, she's not as stern, stone cold as Gabriella, but it's like, Gabriella, no, you guys think Gabriel is bad. Gabriella is worse. But, oh my gosh. So, I guess let's just go into, like, what actually happens in this episode. So, we start off with Adrian and Sublime are running together. Apparently they just go on these morning runs together all the time, and they're in class together. Marinette is spying on them, and Alia immediately thinks, don't tell me you're spying on Adrian. She's like, no, I'm spying on Sublime. Turns out, she just wants to be friends with Sublime, and in true Marinette fashion, she's just like, well, I need to know everything I can about her so that I can make the best first impression. It's like, Marinette, sweetheart, I do need you to learn this lesson, okay? I do. But I also understand it's going to take you some time. As long as it's not jealousy over her being friends with Adrian, I'll take it. She's at least not spying on Adrian. She's just trying to learn more about Sublime. She shows Alia her Sublime board, goes over all of Sublime's accomplishments, and my goodness, this poor girl is being worked to death. I do not like her mom at all. Again, she reminds me of my gender-bent version of Gabriel. She's like a combination. Okay, I'll give her that. She's like a combination of Gabriel and Audrey. So, yeah, she is not a good person. Also, Marinette in her pictures, she actually does show off that, like, some pictures of Sublime in her athletic prosthetics. They show that she actually has different prosthetics. So, like, in one of the pictures that Marinette shows off, she's wearing prosthetics that, I'll just call them, I don't want to use the word normal, but I'll still say normal when referring to the ones that look like, you know, regular legs. Like, she has her normal prosthetics, and she, like, in one of the pictures, she's wearing black normal ones, but when we see her later, she's wearing blue normal ones, and, like, that's really nice. Again, I'm using normal just to refer to them so it's easier, but, like, I don't, it's weird using that to be like, oh, well, it's not normal. It's like, she has a disability, but she's still a normal person, okay? So please don't think that I'm acting like she's, quote, abnormal because she has prosthetics, but they just look like regular legs. I know, it's awkward. But yeah, so, like, she has her normal legs in different colors, and I think that's really cool because she can match them with the different outfits that she's wearing. But like, one of Marinette's pictures also shows her with her athletic prosthetics. Oh, everyday. Duh, I could just call them everyday prosthetics. Oh my gosh, why do I have to make it weird? So yeah, but Marinette also has pictures of her with her athletic prosthetics, and later on, she acts like those, like, her everyday prosthetic, or her everyday blue prosthetics are the only prosthetics she can wear. So it's like, it's a bit weird when you realize that she's got pictures in her room of Sublime wearing other prosthetics. So it's like, she could have changed into other everyday prosthetics, or she could have changed into her athletic prosthetics. Like, girl. But yeah, that's a bit further on. She basically just, you know, has her little freak out with Alia about how she's obsessing over becoming friends with Sublime, because she just wants to be friends with Adrian's friend. And Alia's just like, yeah, okay, well, I'm gonna leave you to your mess up, and I'm just gonna go. Tiki's like, wait, Alia, aren't you gonna stop her from messing things up? It's like, no, you know Marinette, she's gonna mess things up one way or another, even if I try to stop her. And I love Trix. I was just like, yeah, well, this is a learning opportunity for her. It's like, and you know Marinette loves to learn. It's like, yeah, I do kind of, that was a fun show, because, like, yeah, Marinette makes mistakes, but she learns from them. And that's how you know she's not a Mary Sue, because a Mary Sue does not make mistakes to learn from, because she already knows all these stuff. Marinette has plenty of lessons to learn. Anyways, that's a completely different topic. We cut to Sublime being dropped off by her dad, and it looks like the school is on the opposite side of Marinette's house from before, because we see Marinette walking out of her house to follow Sublime into school before... Oh wait, no, I think it is... Wait. Yeah, because oh no, I'm thinking of the game where it's to the right, but like, before when she would leave her house to go to school, she would turn to the right. In the game, she turns left, but in the seasons 1 through 5, she turns right to go to Francois Dupont. But this is a different school. This is supposed to be a different school. So in this episode, she turns left. Actually, no, I might be remembering that wrong now, because, you know, I think they actually just kind of go back and forth. Because I do remember in Origins, she turns to the left. Okay, you know what? Maybe they did replace Francois Dupont, or they restructured it or something. Because, like, the fence is completely different. It's a wooden fence, and they've got, like, grass in the courtyard. Maybe they just rebuilt Francois Dupont, restructured it to fit this new green initiative or something. Maybe I'm just crazy. But anyways, Marinette follows Sublime around the school, and she's basically just trying to find opportunities when Sublime needs help so that she can jump in and assist her, which, you know, I'm glad that she's not helping her because, oh, well, you have prosthetics and therefore you are going to need assistance. It's, no, I want to be your friend, and the fastest way to become your friend is to assist you. So I'm glad they didn't have Marinette mention her prosthetics at all, except for the one time where she thought that Sublime was going without her prosthetics. So, like, they draw, aside from when it's important, they draw no attention to it, and I do love that. Because, yeah, disabled people, even though we have things that set us apart from other people who are able-bodied or neurotypical, it doesn't necessarily mean that we can't do the things that everyone else does. So I really like that Marinette didn't draw attention to her disability. The only time it's drawn attention to is when it's important to the story, and I do like that. So this is probably the best that they've done a minority story, because they only drew attention to it when necessary, and they did draw attention to it when it was necessary. Unlike with the episode with Sabine, where she's supposed to be getting racially profiled, but it's never actually relevant to the story. The cop never says anything about her being Chinese or anything, so it's like, it's hard to tell that this is a story about racial profiling when they never actually racially profile her. But in this, her disability is actually relevant to the story, and not just about the fact that she is disabled. Well, there is some relevance, but we'll get to that later. So Adrian is, you know, walking her to class. Well, not really walking to her. They're walking to class together because they are in Greek class together. Which I do like that Adrian and Marinette are not in all of the same classes, because like in seasons 1 through 5, it's like the entire class is all in one class, and they all study the exact same things throughout the entirety of the day. So like, it is nice that they've got like electives and stuff that they're not going to be in the same class as each other for. I do like that. But Sublime tells Adrian, you know, there's this girl with pigtails who's been following me around. He's like, yeah, that's probably my girlfriend. She probably likes you and wants to be your friend and just doesn't know how to approach you. She's like that. And it's like, I like that. It's like, Yeah, it's not jealousy. I love that it's not jealousy. I'm so glad that it's not jealousy. A lot of people were concerned that it was going to be jealousy. I guarantee there's still gonna be people out there going, oh, well, Marinette just doesn't like that Adrian has a female friend. It's like, it has nothing to do with her being a female who is friends with Adrian. She just wants to be friends with Adrian's friend. And I do like that. It's not like with Kagami or Lila where it's like, who is this girl who's getting close to my Adrian? She's like, no. Oh, there's this person who's become friends with Adrian. I want to be her friend too. I love that. I love that so much. I'm so glad. I know. I'm so proud of her. I'm sorry. I am. I know there's going to be people who don't see that, who are going to be like, oh, she just doesn't like her because she's a girl hanging around Adrian. It's like, no, she actually does want to be her friend, and she's just not sure how to approach her. I'm so happy. But anyways, we see Sublime being dropped off at the arena where she and her dad meet up with her mom, and we see the differences between her dad and mom. Her mom is really the only one who is actually drawing attention to her disability, but this is actually the kind of story that a lot of people with disabilities do have to deal with, where you have one parent who's like, hey, you know, I'm going to help you through this, and I'm going to be here for you. I believe in you. And I just want you to be able to live your best life. Whereas the other parent is like, stop coddling them. They can do anything. Their disability isn't going to define them. They can do anything. Stop using their disability as an excuse. They could do anything everyone else does, and they're going to do it. And they're going to prove to everyone that just because they're disabled doesn't mean they can't do anything, because they can actually do everything. It's like, I'm glad this is the story that we're telling, because her dad doesn't really seem to actually be coddling her. He's just like, yeah, oh, there's a step here. Let me be a gentleman, give you my hand, and help you up, because that's what gentlemen do. And instead the mom is like, oh my gosh, stop helping her. She can do this. You know, my daughter is not going to be a failure like you. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I hate this woman. Oh, I do not like this woman. No. Yeah. Yeah, so they are here to basically, like, audition, quote-unquote, for Bob Roth to sponsor her. Because in order to be able to compete in an upcoming competition, they need a sponsor. She won't be able to compete without a sponsor. And they're like, yeah, Bob Roth is the best way to go for some reason. Like, there are other people besides Bob Roth. The girl is friends with Adrian Agreste. He has that Agreste money. He could sponsor her. Marinette's parents run a successful bakery. They could sponsor her if she became friends with Marinette. It's like, there are so many better people than Bob Stupid Roth! We go to the audition, and we actually see somebody sitting down. And this is something that I missed in the last episode, but now that I know that this is happening, I am on the lookout for it. This might be happening every episode. It seems that we actually know their villain name now, Chrysalis. It seems like Chrysalis is just wandering around looking for people to akumatize. In the last episode, she shooed away Maya, who was going around looking for people to look at her drawings, and we see her with this green drink. And then at the very end of the episode, when we see her talking, she's at the same cafe and the drink is finished. And I missed out on that little detail before. I saw her at the end and I pointed that out, but I missed out on a little detail about her spying on Marinette and Adrian. It was either she was either spying on them or she was looking for people to akumatize and happened to see Maya. So it is a bit unclear if she was actually just there to spy on Marinette and Adrian, or if she was just there looking for people to akumatize and Marinette and Adrian just happened to be there. But when the shot starts, we see somebody walking in and pulling out a notebook. which is what we also see her doing in episode 2. She's writing in her notebook when she shoos away Maya, and then at the end of the episode, she's writing in the notebook. Well, at the end of the episode, the same person who walks in and starts writing in their notebook also happens to be at the end as well. So that's gonna be something to keep an eye out for future episodes, and that's a really cool detail too. Like, that is an amazing detail. There's so much attention to detail so far, and I absolutely love it. So we get Sublime's mom talking to Bob Roth. Sublime's name is another reason to hate her mom, honestly, because she like points out that Sublime is Sublime, and it's like, did you name your daughter an adjective because you wanted her to fit that adjective? Oh my gosh, those baby names in 2044 videos are actually gonna happen. Oh my gosh, we're in trouble. People are naming their kids after adjectives. But anyway, her mom is telling Bob about everything related to her daughter, and Bob's like, yeah, but is she really worthy of my sponsorship? This gold medal you have, is this really gold? I don't believe that it's actually gold. And he's like being all snobby and everything. She finally manages to convince him to at least watch her run. And he's like, fine, but if we win the gold, I get to keep the medal. And the dad's like, hey, this guy seems kind of fishy. We probably shouldn't work with someone like this. And his mom's like, but we need a sponsor. He's gonna sponsor us, and she's gonna do amazing. And our daughter is not going to be a failure like you. Ooh, why is he married to this woman? Oh, the dad deserves so much better. But yeah, they're just putting all this pressure on poor Sublime, and she ends up having a bit of a breakdown later on as well. So we go back to the locker room. Marinette is looking for her. She sees the everyday prosthetics. It's like, wait, oh my gosh, she's walking. She must have been attacked by a supervillain who made her, and she's not able to wear her prosthetics. So she runs into the bathroom, and Sublime somehow didn't hear Marinette in the bathroom, but Sublime is feeling nervous because, you know, she's under all this pressure and everything. So she basically gives herself a pep talk as if she was her mother. We see her mother give her a very similar quote-unquote pep talk, but it's not even a you can do this. It's basically talking to her fear and telling her fear, I know that you're here and you're not going to get the better of me. I'm going to get what I want and you can't stop me. And it's like, oh, this is not a healthy coping mechanism. It does get her hands to shake, but like it doesn't last. The girl is under so much pressure, but because of the way that she's talking, Marinette thinks she's talking to her, that she knows Marinette is in the bathroom and that she wants to stop Marinette. And this is the first time Marinette makes any assumption that she might actually like Adrian. She's like, oh, she's gonna come after me. So she grabs some janitor supplies and makes herself look like an akumatized villain. And like Sublime sees right through it. It's like, okay, yeah, this is just Adrian's girlfriend again being weird. Like he said, like, Marinette, I know that it's you. Listen, we can talk after this, but like I can't talk right now, but listen, we'll talk later. Please stay here so we can talk. Marinette's like, oh no, she saw me. She didn't buy my disguise, so I need to transform into Ladybug. So they can be like, yeah, there actually is a villain, and I'm here to find them and save them. And Marinette, this girl needs serious therapy. My goodness. So Sublime goes to her tryout, and she starts shaking again. Her dad sees this and comes over and tries to talk to her and be like, it's like, hey, listen, I can see that you're uncomfortable. It's okay to back out if you're not comfortable. It's okay. Ultimately, your happiness is what's best. And if you decide that you don't want to do this, it is okay for you to make that decision for yourself. And it's like, I love the dad. I love the dad. He is an amazing dad. But then the mom comes in and it's like, no, don't listen to your loser of a father. You can do this. You're going to do this. And you're going to show everybody that you're the best there ever was. And it's like, oh my gosh, she is. She is Gabriella and Tomoe mixed in one, and I hate her so much. She is really trying to fight Audrey for that #1 worst parent in Miraculous spot. Do not like. The dad from the other episode was also not great, but this woman is worse. Why is every new parent we get in this show awful? Okay, aside from her dad. Sublime's dad is great. The other two have been... I don't like the parents. Oh, but yeah, it just makes Sublime like kind of feel bad about herself. She's like, okay, I have to do this because, oh my goodness. The poor girl. But then Ladybug comes in after she starts running and is like, where's the akumatized villain? Which... she feels bad about this, guys. Okay, please. I can already tell people are going to be ripping her apart for this, but Sublime trips after being surprised by Ladybug and completely destroys her prosthetics. And I'm assuming these are probably the only athletic prosthetics that she has. It probably wouldn't be a good idea for them to get her backups in the future, but yeah, this was not great. So yeah, her prosthetics sort of smash into pieces, and Sublime tells Ladybug, listen, no, it's a misunderstanding. It's Marinette Dupenchang. She was just pretending to be a supervillain. She's not actually akumatized. But it's okay, my friend Adrian told me about her. She, apparently she just acts like this when she wants to be friends with someone, when she likes somebody, and I guess she really likes me. And Ladybug's just like, oh my gosh, what have I done? And, like she sees that Sublime is actually kind of touched by the idea that Marinette likes her enough to be this clumsy and trying to be her friend. And Ladybug's like, oh my gosh, I read her all wrong. She doesn't hate me. She wants to be my friend too. But Bob storms off. The mom is like, wait, this is just a setback. And he's like, of course it's a setback. And setbacks mean time, and time is money. And it's like, oh, I hate Bob. Bob's another awful dad. Did I include Bob in my list of miraculous parents? I should probably do another one of those, but I'll probably wait till after season 6 is over before doing another video about the worst parent, like, ranking all the miraculous parents again. Bob can go crawl in a ditch! Anyways, so Sublime's mom gets akumatized into sublimation, and her power basically is like, she turns you into what she thinks would be the best version of you. So, basically, perfection. So, yeah, like an aggressed parent. Oh, my child has to be perfect. And it's like, I hate this woman so much. And Ladybug is like, okay, well, now there's a villain here. I'll protect you guys. And the villain's like, don't pretend to protect my daughter. It's like, I can understand that how she would be a little bit upset because, yeah, Ladybug was responsible for the prosthetics being destroyed. And, like, the entire episode, she actually does feel awful. And you could see her, like, kind of tearing herself down because, like, she's listening to everything that Sublimation is telling her about how she's not a good superhero and like, oh, you act perfect, but you destroyed my daughter's prosthetics. And she's like, yeah, no, I did, and I'm sorry. I'll try to fix this. It's like, how are you gonna fix it? And it's like, oh, it's actually kind of hard to watch. I know that she needs this. I know that she needs this to grow, but like, yeah, and it's a good lesson for her to learn. She needs to learn this lesson. I wish she would retain this lesson, but unfortunately that is one of the downsides to an episodic show like this, is that things do tend to return to status quo at the end, but like season to season, usually stuff like this can be learned upon, but we also got Ben 10 who never learned. But anyways, like they're just like going back and forth. Sublimation is blaming Ladybug. Ladybug's like, yeah, I'm sorry. I want to try to make this right, but you know, we have to deakumatize you first. And oh my gosh, I love this next part. She opens up her yo-yo and the phone is different. I'm assuming that there's probably a phone in there as well, but now she has the ability to call on miraculous holders just by opening up her yo-yo, finding the symbol for the miraculous, and then pressing it. And she does that to summon Cat Noir. They have a way to call each other now. I am in love. No more of Adrian being left out because he didn't know that there was a villain. She can just call him. Yes! Yes! Oh, this is such a good change. Like, oh my goodness. I hate the mob, but I am loving so much of the new stuff that we're getting in this episode. Oh my gosh, the way I freaked out when I first saw this was, oh my goodness, yes! So Adrian basically can sense that Ladybug is calling out to him. His ring doesn't beep or anything, he just senses it, which makes sense. Because if the miraculous reacted, then, you know, it would alert people like, hey, what's going on with your piece of jewelry? So he senses that Ladybug needs him and goes off to help. And we see Sublimation, attacking Bob Roth. And it's like, yeah, I'm gonna make you a better person. And it's like, and Cat Noir's like, well, I mean, can we really falter too much for wanting to make Bob a better person? And then he goes on about how his whole thing that he did in, I forget the name, when Luca got akumatized because of him. He's like, well, you guys are here to help the rich. And it's like, no, they help everybody equally. Doesn't matter if you're rich or not. It's like, oh, well, you're just being taken advantage of. It's like, no, we're volunteers. And it's like, Bob represents everything that is wrong with America at the moment. And this is a French show. Oh, Bob is the worst of Americans right now. Hate him. Always hated him. Always will hate him. And then Cat Noir, it's so satisfying because, like, we all hated it when Ladybug threw Cat Noir in the trash, but now Cat Noir is the one throwing people in the trash, and it's Bob Roth, and he deserves it so much. It was so satisfying. He's like, hey, how dare you put me in here? I thought it would fit because your attitude is so stinky. We love sassy Adrian. Love it. So we go back to Ladybug fighting Sublimation, and Chrysalis, is like, hey, you know, they don't deserve their powers. You should take them back. Oh, I almost forgot to, say how we know her name is Chrysalis now. In the credits, they actually do credit her as Chrysalis, so that's how we know that her name is canonically Chrysalis. That is canon now, it's not just speculation. But they fight, and she gives them more of her speech about how she could just make them perfect. And Cat Noir, showing he is the best support of all time, he's the best partner, is like, we're the best we are at being us. Ladybug gets a compact mirror, and she just immediately looks into it and sees her own reflection. and is like, oh my gosh, am I the problem? And it's like, yeah. She has more of a realization of it later, but yeah, we see Cat Noir telling her, it's like, you're already perfect the way you are. Everybody makes mistakes, and that's fine. Ladybug, you're the best you that you can be. And she's like, do you really mean that? He's like, of course I do. He really is the best. So she's like, okay, I'm gonna let sublimation hit me. And is like, wait, what are you doing? And then Cat Noir gets hit. And then, oh, I love this. So Ladybug just immediately breaks free. And then Cat Noir is like, yeah, I told you, Ladybug. And then he breaks free as well. And then she's like, you're the best you there is as well. And it's like, oh, that's so sweet. He's like, I know. You're also so modest. It's like, And that's the bit from the trailer that we saw too. And then we see, so this is actually really interesting. We got a glimpse of this in one of the trailers where Cat Noir's costume turned gray. And apparently we have a new power for the Butterfly Miraculous, where she can send out anti-Kumas. So these anti-Kumas will take away the power of a Miraculous holder, which means that Cat Noir no longer has his Cataclysm, which makes Ladybug go like, uh-oh, that's a different one. That's new. But she manages to stop sublimation and, destroy the akumatized object and purifies the Akuma. And Cat Noir is like, okay, so you can fix everything now, right? And she realizes the villain that sublimation didn't destroy anything. The villain that the Lucky Charm was warning me against wasn't her. It was me. And I love that she takes responsibility for the fact that this was her fault. So she takes the broken metal and sublimation back to the arena, and she apologizes to Sublime and tells her, this was a mistake, and I'm so sorry that this happened, but, I'm going to make this right. She finally uses her magic ladybugs to fix everything after apologizing to Sublime, and fixes the prosthetics, and then goes back as Marinette so that she can talk to Sublime later. But after Ladybug, does all this, I think it's at this scene that we see the person who walked in earlier walking out, and that's how we know that that is Chrysalis. Yeah, this is where we see that. But they actually do look a bit more androgynous in that outfit. We don't really see too much of them. We only see like a small portion of them, but like with their outfit the way that it is, they actually do kind of look like they could have been male. So it's like, yeah, like Chrysalis really does know how to look androgynous. But Sublime finishes the race. She gets a record time. And Bob is like, oh yeah, I will sponsor you, but you're gonna need to put shoes on those athletic prosthetics because we need to be able to sell merchandise. And it's like, you can't put shoes on those. It's like, it would make it, because like, yeah, exactly. So basically, Bob is the only one being ableist here. But it's not even like him looking down on her for her prosthetics. He's just like, oh, well, we need to sell merchandise. And it's like, yeah, no, you can't do that. And the mom finally gives in after being encouraged by the dad. It's like, we'll find another sponsor. Someone better. And she's like, you know what? Yeah. Well, you can go crawl in a ditch. And like, for once, the mom is actually being respectable, but I still don't like her. And then Sublime goes back to the locker room and talks to Marinette, who then apologizes for everything. And they're like, yeah. And she's like, yeah, no, it's okay. Let's be friends. Just, please don't pull my leg. I love this. Marinette's like, oh my gosh, can you make a joke like that? It's just like, yeah, no, it's fine. It's a joke. You can laugh. So yeah, like, I love, that was a nice scene. But yeah, Marinette is like all embarrassed and everything and apologetic. She's like, you know, I'm sorry, but I do want to be your friend. And it's like, yes, thank you. But then, so yeah, then we get, them going to talk to Tomoe. And I'll admit, I didn't even think about Tomoe. This is actually like the final scene, but this is the clip that we saw in the trailer of Tomoe smiling creepily. But I will admit that it does kind of make sense for Tomoe to sponsor Sublime, since they are both disabled people who are working towards, you know, goals that many people don't think that many ableists think that disabled people shouldn't be going for. And ableism is going, it does seem to be like it's going to be a big problem coming up here soon. I'm not going to go into politics, but there are some things going on right now in our government that are attacking just disabled people in general, which is very unfortunate. So I'm kind of glad that we're going to be, so like if they are going to be going for stories like this that show disabled people doing things just like everyone else, I am kind of glad to be getting those kinds of stories. That kind of representation does seem like it's going to be very much needed very soon here. So it's nice to be able to get that kind of representation. But that is pretty much the end of the episode. So guys, tell me what you think. God, I'm sorry for bringing politics into this. Let's try to keep politics out of this, but let me know what you thought about the episode, what you thought about Sublime. Tell me how much you hate her mom. And Bob Roth, the dad. I love the dad. But, yeah, we'll go ahead and end things here. So, thank you all for joining us today. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more videos from me. We do all sorts of fun stuff on this channel, including playing video games, we do art, and I'll sometimes talk about cartoons and anime. So if you enjoy our stuff, then be sure to ring that bell icon and never miss a video. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I hope you all have a very magical day.